In this section, we will be discussing patient centricity. Patient centricity in a clinical trial means designing and conducting a study, including the care of patient within the trial, in a way that is respectful of and responsive to patients' preferences, needs, and values. And it also ensures that patient values are guiding all decisions within the trial. Measuring and enhancing the patient centricity of trial should help in improving site functionality, patient retention, and recruitment. Patient-centered studies will better demonstrate the benefit of investigational medicine to patient and increase the likelihood of payment if the drug is approved. Measuring and enhancing the clinical trial design, patient centricity, should improve the ability to obtain medical approval by identifying meaningful and relevant outcomes. All these aspects have direct impact on how digital health technologies are incorporated in trials. According to Howley et al., patient centricity should be evaluated scientifically in a trial. The definition of patient centricity has three main implications, which provides insight into aspects that should be measured. One of the components of clinical trial quality is measuring the patient centricity, which involves responding to patients' needs. Patient input in the operations of planning and development of the study also contribute to the measure of patient centricity. How involved were the patients? Were they included or consulted upon in terms of marketing material, or recruitment, data collection, or dissemination of the findings? Patient centricity measures also include assessing patient care. Even though clinical trial encompasses research activities, the patients should still be cared for. And in order to assess the patient centricity, various care processes must also be included. Howley et al. Defined three-step process for measuring patient centricity. It involves getting patients' feedback by collecting appropriate data on patient engagement and their perception of the quality of trial. The second step is to assess trial design by evaluating patients' and partners' responses to four main components. First, planning the study. Second, conducting the study. Third, disseminating the study results. And finally, fourth, adhering to patient-centered outcomes research. For assessing the trial design, the next step is to assess patients through patient activation scale, which is composed of four dimensions. It assesses whether they believe the role is important, if they have confidence and knowledge to take the action, are they taking action, and finally, if they are staying on course under stress. More details on these assessments can be found in the reference provided below. As a result of rapid transformations, policymakers across the world are struggling to keep up with the rapid speed of innovation. And innovators are finding it difficult to integrate their ideas into highly regulated healthcare systems, which can further be exacerbated by the reluctance from patients and caregivers to adapt to such rapid changes. So there is a need for developing the knowledge and attitudes in order for digital health technologies to fill the gaps and work correctly and efficiently. As a result, there is a need to support both patients and caregivers in integrating digital health into everyday medicine. Medical practitioners and policymakers bear a significant amount of responsibility for incorporating patients as partners in the design of treatment and decision-making, as well as in guiding them about the use of a variety of digital health technologies. Otherwise, there can be instances where patients may resort to unproven services or technology solutions that they may not be able to understand on their own. Medical choices that are made without the involvement of medical experts might put patients' health at risk due to misunderstood data acquired from digital health devices or inaccurate websites. Collaboration, empathy, and shared decision-making will be very crucial for providing appropriate care. Additionally, health literacy, rather than the income, education, or ethnicity, are shown to be better predictors of how one's health develops, according to the World Health Organization. Digital health will additionally require some level of technical literacy. Therefore, special attention should be paid that the digital health design has the components that will help fill the gaps rather than increasing the digital divide. Effective integration of digital health will not only lead to possibility of greater quality and more information being collected in healthcare setting, but it will also augment it with the possibility of self-care by patients. In order to integrate the digital health into the efficient workflows, patient centricity can play a key role in designing the interventions that are more readily adopted. Incorporation of digital health can also facilitate patient engagement through patient self-monitoring, encouragement towards behavioral change, improvement in comprehension of diagnosis and discharge plans, and finally, it will allow for dynamic interaction between patients, their healthcare data, and clinicians. User-centered design can be an avenue for promoting patient centricity. At the outset of a project, when the technology is first being developed, patients may be included as equal partners with the designers. On the other hand, patient feedback may be acquired after the final phases of design via usability testing. The design process can also look at the requirements of people who will be affected by its use in future, and this could include family members or who will be required to pay for it. The patient-led design is an even more drastic shift in the evolution of digital health. Patients decide what a digital health tool should focus on and how it should do so in patient-led designs. Clinicians should also be included in the patient-centered design groups. Physicians are the end users as well. So if the doctor's requirements aren't considered, products will be harder to use, and it might add additional burdens on clinicians. The user-centered design can drive the usability and adoption, which can be very beneficial for integrating the digital health technologies. The information in the table shows how digital health is transforming the traditional medicine into modern medicine. In modern medicine, patients are the partners and collaborators with the healthcare providers for making medical decisions. And therefore, the patient centricity will be the crucial aspect of future innovations. So this is one of the frameworks which is patient-centric. I will not go into the details for it now since it is part of the subsequent section. But I do want to bring up the necessity of patient centricity that should be integral to the design of clinical trials involving digital health technologies, so that the appropriate symptoms or features are identified for analysis purposes. With this, we will conclude this section on patient centricity. Please find more information in the resources provided in the references. Thank you.